Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. I'm Kris, and my computer froze. Alright. Whenever you want, Oh, okay, now you feel like it. Okay. Alright, there you go. It's frozen again? Okay, good. Yeah, let's keep doing that. This is Lazy Masquerade. Disturbing videos caught on home surveillance cameras. I'm going to break this down into two videos. We'll go 13-ish minutes. I'm not trying to cheat. I would love if I have a new computer coming. Yeah, so I'll probably go to this mark. We'll go to the 15-minute mark and then the last two, because I think this one's an ad. Okay, we'll break it down and we'll do that. This is part one. You can donate to the channel. If you'd like to request a video, you can request period, but you can donate to the channel and then request a video and you'll get your name sponsored by. Subscribe, and then bare minimum, if you could just do this. Look, see how easy it is? That helps me out tremendously. Let's get to the video.
In today's episode, we'll be exploring 3 videos with chilling backstories. And though the mysteries surrounding the latter two have been resolved, I particularly want to highlight the first case, which remains unsolved. Not just because it's received so little media attention, but because I'm sure that someone out there must know who the person of interest in the footage is. Hopefully, that's one of you. Maintaining a good work-life balance can be challenging, especially when you're swamped with multiple projects. When I first started Grand Prairie, Texas, a densely suburban and diverse city of about 200,000 people, nestled evenly between Fort Worth and Dallas. With a violent crime rate 45% lower than the national average, when it comes to settling down, it's considered one of the safer built-up areas in the Lone Star State. One man who fell on the wrong side of that statistic was Hop Van Wen, a single, 32-year-old Vietnamese American who lived alone on the 2400 block of Lancaster Drive. Described by those who knew him as a guy who lived in the moment, Hop was a fan of travel, fishing, fitness, and winter sports. Little else about his personal life has been revealed to the public. In the summer of 2017, Hop suddenly stopped responding to calls and messages from family and friends. Unable to reach him, his concerned loved ones contacted Grand Prairie PD and reported him missing. An investigation was quickly launched. Law enforcement asked local residents to be on the lookout for a 5'7" Asian male with short black hair, brown eyes, a scar behind his right ear, a half-sleeve dragon tattoo on his right arm, and a tattoo on his right inner arm with the letters TFT. They also noted that he was missing the tip of his right index finger. According to NamUs, Hop was last seen at about 10:30 PM on Thursday, August 17th, driving his white Nissan 350Z convertible on State Highway 161, just as he exited Lower Tarrant Road. His car was found abandoned and empty thereafter. Grand Prairie PD haven't shared exactly when or where it was discovered. In fact, the only clue they have released is a short video clip, one recorded by Hop's very own Ring doorbell camera. It was captured the same night he was last seen, and features a person of interest, or POI, whom law enforcement believe played a role in Hop's disappearance. As you can see, the Ring camera detects movement and activates. An unidentified subject is...
Sorry. Let me go back for a second. At the very end, did I hear a noise? Like a... Ah! Let me go back again. Is anybody else hearing that? It's like... Ah! Huh. And then it just ends. I don't know.
As you can see, the Ring camera detects movement and activates. An unidentified subject is seen backing up towards Hop's door and covers the camera with a sheet of paper or a post-it note. The figure then sets about gaining access to the residence. We can hear the sound of wrestling as he fusses with the door. Though some people believe this noise is the POI inserting a key into the lock, others have pointed out that it could be the sound of a lock-picking rake. After the initial sound of the pins, which sounded like a key being inserted, you don't hear the cylinder turn or the lock click. You just hear more pins being manipulated. Then, after 5 seconds or so, he gets the locks and the door opens. After finishing with the lock, a faint beep can be heard. The door opens with a creak, and we hear the intruder speak with someone. It's not clear whether Hop was...
I didn't hear the yup part. But if that's you and somebody just picked a lock and got into your house, you wouldn't be having a casual conversation with them. So how do we know that he blocked off the camera, did whatever he had to do? Well, if he blocked off the camera, then maybe somebody else came and picked the lock, and then it was a second person and he's talking to them. Because you're not going to you're not going to break into someone's house and then have a casual conversation with them.
Home at the time, or who the POI was addressing. Following this exchange, someone steps outside and fiddles with the camera. Just before the video cuts to black, a digital chime or screech can be heard. Did you catch that? There, right at the very end, another separate sound can just about be made out. Focus on that very last sound. This is the Roger beep. A tone often added automatically to the end of radio transmissions to indicate that the operator has finished speaking. Chillingly, it's identical to the sound heard in the Ring footage. That strongly suggests that the POI was communicating with an accomplice over a two-way radio, and not calmly chatting with Hop inside. Rewinding a bit, another beep or screech can be heard just before the POI opens Hop's front door.
Yeah. I caught that.
Some believe this.
I caught that beep beep, and I thought maybe that was just the door opening. Not necessarily a person's home. Well, okay. Yeah, so I've worked at people's homes where you open up their door and it's like beep beep, like their security alarm beeps, and that's what I thought that was. And then there's some where you open it up and it's like garage door open, you know. But it doesn't say that to you, it says it to the main part of the house.
To be the sound of a keypad. But going through Lancaster Drive on Google Street View, all of the homes appear to be modest, single-story buildings with conventional doors. As such, I believe that sound was more likely from a communication device brought by the intruder. In my opinion, this was a well-planned, well-orchestrated invasion of Hop's home. The POI knew about his Ring doorbell camera and came prepared with a paper covering. He approached the door with the confidence of a professional. He knew to use a radio device, so he couldn't be GPS tracked, and he almost certainly wasn't working alone. As you can see, this video lacks a timestamp, and the authorities haven't confirmed whether it was captured before or after Hop was last seen. it's worth reminding everyone that Ring doorbell cameras are motion activated, and no footage of Hop returning home has been mentioned in any press releases. Based on that, and how confidently the POI acts, as if he wasn't expecting any resistance, if I had to make a judgment call, I'd say that the clip was filmed at some point after 10:30 PM, and that Hop didn't make it home on August 17th. With that said, it's best to keep an open mind as we explore this case in more detail. As mentioned, Hop was last seen at 10:30 PM, exiting Lower Tarrant, a thin stretch of road, approximately a 10-minute drive from his home. Again, the authorities haven't told us why he was there in the first place, whether he was meeting a friend there, or attending an event for example. So, let's get on Google Street View and take a look around. So near the entrance we have some greenery, lots of trees and a small field. A little further we have an unusual house, with statues of zoo animals in the yard. This small house here seems to be abandoned. As we go a little further, we reach the Grand Prairie Gun Club, a gated shooting range. The road continues a little further and leads to an obstacle course and a dead end. Here we have a third house. Beyond that is Johnson Creek. In all, it's about a half mile of fields, woodland and shooting lawns. Seems like an odd place for Hop to have found himself late on a weeknight. So, why was he last seen exiting Lower Tarrant that night? Was he there visiting one of the, frankly odd, houses? Had he gone to the shooting range, which is closed on Thursdays and never open after 6 PM? Was he doing a spot of late night fishing in the creek or nearby river? Had he taken a wrong turn so close to home? Or was he meeting someone in a secluded area for some unknown reason? The next question I have is, where did Hop go missing? For reasons already covered, I think on the balance of probability, Hop didn't make it home that night. We know his vehicle left Lower Tarrant Road, but did he head straight in the direction of his home, or did he drive elsewhere to meet someone? Moreover, how confident are the police that Hop was the person behind the wheel of his vehicle as it left Lower Tarrant Road? Is it possible that he went missing in this confined area somewhere, and then someone else drove his car out onto State Highway 161? Just food for thought. Naturally, we also need to ask why. Why target Hop Van Wyn of all people? Well, looking through Hop's now inactive Facebook page, it's clear he appreciated the finer things in life, particularly expensive cars and watches. As such, I've seen a few people suggest that he may have been targeted for his wealth, or at least for his perceived wealth. But I have to stress that Hop lived in a modest house on Lancaster Drive, whose residents are predominantly low income. In fact, the neighborhood is one of the most poverty-stricken in the entire US, with an income lower than 94.8% of the country. Though the police haven't confirmed what Hop did for work or how much he earned, I think it's safe to say that although he fantasized about luxury purchases, he wasn't actually a rich guy himself. As far as I can tell, no material items were reported stolen from the property either. That leaves us with two possibilities. That Hop was home when this footage was captured, and the POI came to target him. Or the POI had already dispatched of Hop and went there to get something. Something specific. Something that even Hop's family, and maybe even the authorities, don't know about. What that item could be is the subject of much speculation. My final question, then, is who? It's clear that Hop wasn't randomly targeted, and that someone out there had a reason to make him disappear. This figure, to be precise. But who are they? Based on their physique and clothes, they appear to be a young male. You can make out the outline of his nose in this still frame, and from another angle, when he presses himself up into the corner of the entrance. Here, it looks like his dark jacket is zipped up over his mouth. The subject also wore dark trousers, a white and black baseball cap, and possibly white gloves. Aside from that, it's hard to build much of a profile from this footage. The POI did a good job of concealing his face. With so little information to work with, some have questioned whether this could have been a gang hit. Proponents of that idea have latched onto Hop's TFT tattoo and his missing fingertip, questioning whether he was affiliated in some way with a Vietnamese syndicate, be that as a former member or someone who owed them a debt. Though I want to stress, that's all speculative. For all we know, the letters TFT were the initials of a loved one, and his fingertip could have easily been lost in an accident. All that's to say, this figure's motive remains shrouded in mystery. Despite releasing this video to the public, law enforcement received little in the way of new leads.
There's really nothing there. If you got any tangible lead at all, then it's gotta be from somebody who was involved, because I don't know how you get anything from this. I mean, this is like a little hidden walkway. You know, like you're not out in the main, in like the front where everyone can see you. You're in this little corridor. So the amount of people that can see you is very slim, except for people across the street. And unless somebody saw you going in there, even if they did, if he's a young guy, they're going to think he has friends.
Continue to seek information that could bring closure to the Wim family, who will believe that Hop was either abducted or otherwise met with foul play. Hop Van Nguyen hasn't been seen or heard from since August 17th, 2017. If still alive, he'd be 39 years old today. If you have any information pertaining to his whereabouts, or if you recognize the person of interest in this footage, please contact the GPPD immediately. You can even do so anonymously. All the information you need is on screen now.
We're going to go ahead and pause it here. We'll come back for part 2. He's been missing for 7 years. I mean, after 7 years, you can be considered legally dead. That's got to be heartbreaking to not know. You know, if his family does consider him legally dead, and you have a funeral, it's just, as you know, it's an empty coffin. There's nothing there. That's terrible. Okay, well, there's the next 2 I believe he said were solved, but we won't get into those now. We'll get into them for the next video. So I'm going to end this here. This is part 1. We'll be back with part 2. Try to have a better day. But have a good day, have a good night, regardless.